Okay, another day, another video. This time I thought I'd do one on my lighting setup. I've made a few changes to the gear layout and tweaked things a little bit. First thing, I'm using my Olympus EM5 Mark II with the 12-40mm M-Zuiko lens. So I like these Manfrotto type plates. There you go, click that in, that lever releases it, but that pin locks it. So I've sort of retrofitted these to several of my cameras and tripods now, because I think that really they're really quick and easy, and I feel secure with them as well. So that's the camera mounted on the top there. Now, one thing I really wanted this setup to be quick, so I could just put the camera on, connect it up, do what I want, take it off again without having to have too many things to unscrew, unplug, in terms of flash units or anything else. So that's that bit. Now below there, hanging on the tripod on this state-of-the-art rubber band, is this. Hopefully that's in shot. That's my ring flash. Now the ring flash, if I turn it round, comes with a number of these adapter plates. Now they just two latches there, and then you just clip in the appropriate thread plate. But I wanted to make it again as quick as easy. The problem with this, when you got it mounted, is because this is attached hardwired at this end, and indeed at the controller end, which you can't currently see, which I will show you. When you screw that on the front of a lens, it's really going to be quite awkward to do. I know you can kind of screw this on independently and then clip that on, but I wanted to make it as quick and easy as possible. So some while back I bought these Zoom or XUME Manfrotto plates, lens adapters, whatever you want to call them, and they are magnetic. This is a 62mm one to suit this lens fitted on here, and it can stay on there, and fitting it is really quick and easy. So all you've got to do is just that. So that it doesn't get any quicker than that and easier than that. So that can stay permanently hanging from this, again, this I mentioned, this state-of-the-art rubber band from one of the knobs on the tripod, and when I want to use it, straight on. So first thing, clip the camera on. Second thing, clip the ring flash on. Okay, so that's a Manfrotto plate, which is in turn on top of this thing, which is, as I'm sure you can see, is a focusing rail. Now, I don't really need the focusing rail, and I never really needed it as a focusing rail. The reason I got it was because I was working at our former home in a very, very limited space. I couldn't really move the camera very much back to front, or even side to side. Now of course having the zoom helps with that in front and back to a degree, but I bought this and I still got it fitted because it is useful. Now it's got two locking knobs there, one at the front there and one on the side here, and when them unlocked, and using this screw here and one on the right hand side, you can move, this one moves it front to back, as you can see. So I've got quite a nice little adjustment there just to move it as I want it, and likewise side to side with the knob here. I probably haven't loosened it off enough, actually, the locking knobs, so let's make sure they're both released. Yeah, you see, again, left to right adjustment. So combine the two together and you've got a nice degree of further movement there, and that is sitting on top of the with a quick release plate on top of the tripod here. So that's pretty much all the setup at the top here. I'll just now move on and I'll show you how I've mounted the controller for the ring flash and a flash trigger slightly further down the tripod, which is something that I've done again very recently. So let's stop the video there and I'll restart it in a sec. Right, so this is the setup for the flash trigger and the ring flash controller. Now, as I mentioned before, this thing's hardwired at the ring flash end and also into the controller end here, by touch the two together by this coily cable. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to mount this on the tripod as a self-contained thing. Again, with a quick setup, I didn't want to have to put this whole thing onto the hot shoe on the camera every time. So in order to do that, I got this bracket here, clamp, whatever. I suppose it's more of a clamp, isn't it? And it's a jawed clamp, which you can, in this case I've put around the centre column for the tripod, and it also has a locking nut here, or screw here, which enables you to move it side to side or pivot it round. Well, I don't want that, so although I've got that as tight as possible, it doesn't seem to want to stay 100%, so I've used these things, these couple of these things around it. Now these are called red whips, lovely term, and I bought them originally for another purpose, but they proved to be so useful. Well, I think they're by Think Tank, and it's a very simple idea. This elasticated cord material and the pull toggle, but they work very well, and a couple of combined with this, say, lock nut down here, the whole thing is pretty solid. Okay, so the flash trigger will attach to the camera via a sync cable. Again, very quick to disconnect that and when you want to take the camera off. And another advantage of that to me is that I can use, hope this is in the shot, I can use this. This is my absolutely ancient 40 odd year old Bowens flash meter. So what I will do is I'll switch on both units. So this is the flash trigger at the bottom here. Right, that's on, and now there you go, that's the ring flash as well. Right, so just to prove it's working, I can fire them from here. Okay, that's just the test button, flash button on the flash trigger, or I can check it from here with the pilot. Same difference. Or I can fire it from here, which is of course what I want to do if I'm doing a flash meter reading. So if I plug that into the side of the flash meter, it's maybe ancient, but it still does what I want it to do, and use its open flash button again to fire the ring flash in this case. There we are. Okay, so that's another reason why I wanted to have it set up in such a way that I can just literally plug this in, plug the ring flash on if I want it, put the camera, clip the camera in, ready to go. Now going on to these two units here. First of all, there's the X1T, is it the model number, Godox flash trigger, and I used that in combination with this, which is my Godox TT350 flash. So if I put that on, and again I use the test facility on here. Actually still got the ring flash on, doesn't it? So let's turn the ring flash off and again do it from here. I've got it on. Yeah, thing switched on. There you go. So that's going to trigger that by radio. So gives me quite a few sort of lighting options, to use the ring flash, to use in combination with or as an alternative to the flash trigger and the Godox flash. As I say, both together, one the other. Now the ring flash, if I turn that back on, this doesn't have to be on for that, so I'll turn that off. If I turn on the ring flash, now that will act as a flash, as you saw, and it will also act in a straight sort of light mode. So if I put it onto light, yeah, now you see it's just acting as a light rather than any flash. So that if I do that, I can increase the brightness, decrease the brightness, and so on and so forth. The brightness right down. So that's as I say, just using it as a light rather than as a flash, but you saw it operate as a flash. So that's that sort of thing. And there's one other piece of lighting gear which I've set up, which I can use again in combination as an alternative to any of these other light sources, and I'll show you that in a minute. But one thing I will do is I'll just pan down a bit, so hopefully this won't get too jerky and I can get the thing in shot. There we go. That thing down here, zoom it in a bit and move it down slightly, frame it a bit tighter. Yeah, that thing there, mounted again with a couple of these wonderful red whips to one of the tripod legs, is a power supply for if I use this with a camera, Olympus camera like the EM1, which I have a grip for, which enables it to run off battery power via that adapter. Okay, so one last thing, I'll set it up again. I'll pause the video and I'll show you one other piece of lighting equipment that I'm using. Right, so lastly, the other thing that I've set up here is my RGB light, which is this thing up here, which is above the light tent. And I'll just turn that on. You can see it's quite a bright RGB light, and it's giving quite a lot of sort of downlighting there. Now this is in daylight as well, I'm filming this, so I've got quite a bit of light coming through the window, but the so you can't really see quite how even that light is, but that's adjustable both on the actual light itself, which is a bit tricky the way I've got it set up, or via an app. And the app will enable you to set up not just the brightness and the colour temperature of the light, but also you can set it so that you can control it as an RGB light, so I can make it go pink or green or blue or whatever. And as I say, so that you can control that via the app. So that's just one more piece of lighting gear that I've got set up here, which I can use, say, as an alternative or in combination with the other lights that I just showed you. Anyway, hope that was interesting. A bit of a different video for me, and it's actually nice not to, in a way, not to appear in a video. Especially at the moment, because with the lockdown and having to wait better part of another month to get a haircut, I am turning steadily into a Yeti. I'm pretty sure I am. So it's nice not to be in front of the camera. But anyway, just some different things there, which I hope you find of interest. And so stay safe, everybody, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.